Hey there, my name is Temi. I'm a UX designer and an XR designer, and this is my tutorial video 1 submission for my UX 606 Immersive Design course. And in this tutorial, we're going over more of an introduction to Unity. Unity is a game engine we use to prototype immersive designs and game simulations. And to begin, we'll start by going over Unity Hub. Unity Hub is kind of like our command center where we arrange our Unity files, and you can see we have a layout of all our Unity projects. On the left panel, you can see the projects, you can see the installs where we can install versions of Unity. So Unity does have different versions, so depending on what version you're working on your project, you can install different versions. And we also have the Learn panel. If you're looking for more information, more tutorials, I do encourage everyone starting off with Unity to go over some tutorials here. And the community is one of the things I actually love the most about Unity. And they have a very strong community. So if you need more information, more help, you can go over the discussion, you can go over the asset store. You can find some free assets that you can use in your game design. And yeah, just take a look around. So what we do is to start a new project is you go to the project panel, you can start a new project, and at the top here you can set so after you've downloaded the version you want, it will show up here, and you can select what version you want to use. So for this tutorial we'll be trying out with the version 6, which is the latest version. And here you can see we have different templates. So depending on what project you're working on, you can set different templates. So we do have standard template like the Universal 2D or Universal 3D, or we have specific template like if you're building a mobile 3D or a mixed reality game or a VR game. What this does for you, the benefit is that once you add this template, it gives you all the assets and all the packages to start that particular project. So you have everything in there. And on the right side here, you can set the name of your project. So you can say my project tutorial, whatever name you want to add there, and also the location where you're storing the file. And also we have the Unity Cloud in case you want to store your files on your Unity server. For this, I'm just going to toggle that off for now. And so once you have your project name set up, you set up your templates. So for today, we'll be using the Universal 3D templates, and we'll set our version, and everything is all good. Then you can create your project. So once you create a project, this is a typical scene, a base scene from Unity, where on the left side here you have your hierarchy, then in the middle you have the scene itself, the game scene. And you can have the scene view, which is like the design view. Then you have the game view, which is like the view in the actual game. Then on the right side here, you have the inspector panel. So it just gives you more information about your game objects. So on this hierarchy side on the left, you can add game objects to your scene. So like you can just right click, add game objects to show up there, and you can inspect them over here as well. It's very intuitive. So you want to add scripts or components, you can come over here and add them on the component scripts, and you can add in new scripts and name your scripts. And once you name your scripts and create and add the scripts, then save. So that comes up there in your assets. So basically what a script does for you is if you need to manipulate your game object in game, you can have your script, and these scripts are written in C#. So I mean, you don't have to have like deep knowledge of C#, but just the basic knowledge is fine enough. So once you open your scripts, let's take a look what it looks like. So this is a basic C# script, and so we have the voice start and the update. So this one we usually have like functions that you want to just happen once, like maybe like the start section, and whereas the updates are the ones that regularly update throughout the game. So like movements, things like that will always be here. So once you add your scripts, Like for example, I have like a sample script we made, public my material. So that's what is being called to set color. I'll go over the set color next. So now that we have that set, let's go back to our button now. So under our button, so we have this on click like I mentioned earlier. We've added an on click. So whenever I click on this button, I want it to manipulate a game object. So now we have to drag the game object in here. So we'll come over here to cube, drag it in here. So now next, remember in our cube we had the set color. So now we're gonna call that next. So we'll come to functions. You see the name of the script, my first script. Then you can see the set color. Perfect. So now whenever we click on that, it sets the color to whatever color is here. So to give that a trial, let's test it. So let's test it. Just play the game. And also, one other thing I also like to encourage is to always save your file. Nothing's worse than you working like a couple hours on a project and you forget to save. So always make sure you save. So with that, let's play our game. And now if we click on our button, the cube color should change. Okay. Alright, so we see the button here. However, we don't see the cube. Let's fix that first. So what's going on is because we have our camera view, right? And the cube is right there on the camera. So we need to put the cube in front of the camera. So to do that, we can either press the cube. We want to move it through the z-axis. So we just move it on this axis Z to be in front of the camera now. And to make sure, so that's actually the back of the camera. So we want it to come to the front. So we'll move it forward. And you can also see, you can come to the game view to make sure it's right. So this is perfect now. Again, I'll save just to make sure. So let's play. Alright. So now we have our cube and we have our UI button here. So if I click on this button, this should change. So let's test it. Click. Beautiful. So once we clicked on this, the game changed in real time. So that's just a simple test to show scripting and creating objects. So just to reiterate, what we've done today is we went over the Unity Hub to see how we arrange our file. Like I said, it's just like a command center. We went over a new scene in Unity. We went over adding game objects. We went over scripting, adding scripts to manipulate our game objects in real time. Then we also create a button to change our game object as well in game. And thank you so much for following all the way to the end of the tutorial. My name is Temi.